What's going on, guys? What's cracking? So I'm back working on the wife's car. My buddy Kyle just gave me shit for that. I do drive it more than she does. Not gonna even lie, it's not like you can lie really about that, but it is what it is. So back in here, got the panel off because got a new BTI gauge coming. This is a replacement for the 3.5 inch, and I believe the new one's 4.3, going even bigger. The new one has some updates too. So let's go ahead and do this. When I turn it on, let's do this. Love that splash screen. So this is specific, hers is at least, for a Haltech. And this one's even more unique in the fact that this car is an auto car. So we're on the auto screen, so it shows you the gear. So if I actually put it, let's put it in reverse real quick. Should put actually, no. Whoop, sorry, music's turning on. Reverse, that's neutral. And that's drive, which should be first. Yep. So, and I think I can go down through it. Will it change anything? That won't matter. Because drive is because I have manual mode on this car, so it doesn't matter. But it lets you see everything. So this is the one screen. Again, all this is going to change though. He added line pressure and a few other things for me, which I'm pretty stoked about. So go through it here. Again, I want to show you this because the screen and the way it toggles change. So see how we're toggling through? The new screen doesn't work like this. It's a little bit different. Like you kind of pick the page instead of having to click through every single page to get to the page you want to get to. You can now actually toggle to the exact page you want. And you can see here, this is the main screen I usually use when I'm driving my car because I'm a manual, don't need anything else. But this is a screen I keep on with hers because I like to see what gear I'm in, especially because when I hit this button, turns on that right there. So manual mode off, manual mode on. This does have the factory manual mode button, but it does not work. So we had to make our own on-off switch with the Haltech. And that allows me to then use these little buttons, and this will tell me which gear I'm in. So, but when you get off the screen, for some reason it disappears. I'm not sure why it does it, but it does. Then when it shifts one time, it pops back up. Again, that's fixed on the new one. But I just wanted to show you this, guys. Got that apart. Next thing I'm going to do is take the dash out and just get prepared. So when it gets here, I can pop it in. And one other thing I wanted to show you guys quick before I take this apart. I don't actually have to do this, but you guys will. Is you have your two plugs. This is your main plug. On the AM, this would be an AM net. This is just like a CAN plug. This goes directly up to the Haltech, and then you have your two wires here. This here is for your toggling of the boost and for traction control. I know he's looking into adding more, but as of right now, that's all you have. I think he actually does have a few other things, but right now that's all I'm utilizing. That's all it's built to the harness. So I don't need to replace this, so I'm not going to pull this all out, try to fish it down, because it works. He did say that the new harness is 7 foot long instead of 10 feet long. So you took 3 feet off, which is good because I have to always curl it up. No need for all that length. So it makes it a little bit cleaner up there, but I'm not going to remove that. I'm going to close this all back up. And that's my Infinity. Ignore my yellow cord all bunched up there. And I got some stuff that I need to tidy up a little bit. But yeah, there's just some random wires I got going here for rolling anti-lag and some other random stuff. I need to clean it up. I'll do that this winter. It works perfectly fine right now, so I'm not going to mess with what works perfect. So I'm going to shut up now and clean this all up. Alright guys, so the BTI new part showed up. One thing I wanted to say though, today's video is brought to you by Keystone. I wish, just kidding. Got my beer here, got my BTI. This is really who brings on the video today. This is awesome. I really appreciate the support. Again, when I started doing this, it wasn't a very big channel. He sent me a free gauge years ago to start this all out. I believe I was living with my parents when we were building this house. So this is 2015, 2016. I had just started the channel and he was supporting me. So it means a lot to me. One thing I wanted to do before I opened up, here is the old gauge. Nothing wrong with this. The only reason I took it out is because we're gonna try out this new bigger one. So let's go and open up the package here. He also has the new shirt. Hold on for a second. New shirt, new shirt. The front just says BTI, but look at the back. We got a Super now. I was pretty pumped about this because I wear black t-shirts every day. Really happy about that. But let's go ahead and open this up. Of course, it's going to be super tight. So, oh boy, come on. I wanted to show this. I love this part here. Notice, for off-road use only, guys. Of course. I love this little part. I always like this. The little cleaning costs that are thrown in here. I love these. Everyone gets this. It's not special. I love these. This little card's cool too. Installation instructions. Awesome. No need for paper. Scan that. Takes you right to where you need to on the website. Love how it has like little dimensions on the side too. Look at them BTI stickers. Tons of those. We'll be putting those up in the toolbox. And here's the creme diddly creme. Look at that bad boy. Whoo, Lord have mercy. Look at that. That thing is sweet. Let's take it out. Right off the bat, guys, you can see, look how big the screen is. Look at the difference here. Now, the physical monitor and stuff is bigger. This is his biggest one he's offered yet that fits in the stock location. So you don't have to modify the dash whatsoever to make this fit. I've seen some people say they like it, some people don't. This coming off, I kind of like it. It makes it like kind of form with the dash. I'm a fan of it. I just think it looks cool. You can see there in the back, it tells you which model it is. It's the BTI 4.3. It tells you it's version 1.0. Very, very simple setup. Again, this bolts on the same way. Now, what has changed is this. So in the back, let's take it around here. Again, I just want to be careful. So in the back here, you can see this had this little metal plate you would use. This comes with this contraption. So this actually screws into the back where the factory 3 holes were, where you had your factory clock set up. So it uses that, includes screws, and then on top of it has these 2 nuts, just like the old one did, to help tighten it down. Now I want to make sure this is clear too. We just had some issues. So now he does sell, if needed, these shims. What are these shims for? These shims go on the back, okay? You literally put these shims on the back to shim it out so you're not over tightening this thing. So say it gets out and it's too tight. And you're probably asking, well, why would I need a shim, Ryan? If your dash is not a factory dash, meaning that it is got a carbon fiber like overlay on it or some type of overlay that makes the dash thicker, when you go to crank this down, it'll actually pull on this. And when you pull on it and you over tighten these screens, it causes the screen not to work. So to get away from that and to make sure people don't do that, he has these overlays you can use. And one's 1 millimeter, 2 millimeter, or 3 millimeter, depending how thick your actual overlay that you have on your dash is, you can use one of these. Makes it a little simple, or you could just not over tighten it. I actually like this better though, so you can tighten it down, know it's cinched, because this could then wiggle loose if you just get it kind of tight. You see what I'm saying? So I'm gonna shut up now. I'm gonna put this in the car. We've got the wiring whip, so this comes in, plug it right into your ECU down below. This here you'll need to pin in if you don't have a custom wiring harness. I do, so I don't need to do this, which I kind of showed earlier. So that's not necessary for me. Don't need to put this in either, because I already have the wiring harness in, so all I gotta do is plop that in and then plug it in and see what it looks like. All right, guys, so the new gauge is in, and there's a bunch of little neat features I kind of want to go over with you. I might miss 1 or 2 here today, so I do apologize. I did a quick video of it on Instagram here. First and foremost, let's go over the fit and finish. Fits very well. Again, some people like this, some people don't. This isn't necessary at all. I kind of like it because it makes it form with the dash. That's my personal opinion. I do like it. Also has your shift light up above. The other light is to like let you know when you do uploads and things of that nature. Make some changes. Again, this is a 4.3-inch screen. Now, one thing you'll notice too is this is a lot faster. The first thing I noticed is either the processor, whatever he uses, again, excuse my ignorance here, whatever he uses, seems to process so much faster. So when I turn the screen on, it's like instant. No more splash screen either. I'm not sure if he's going to offer that, so don't quote me on this, but I don't think he will. Personally, I think he should go away from offering splash screens just for the fact that it'll help cut down on time. It is neat, don't get me wrong, but I think you cut down on that. I do see on the back of this too, there is a port on it for updates now. So the old gauges you kind of had to send back. It looks like he's going to allow us to do changes. Now that might be specific to me. I highly doubt it, but it looks like we'll be able to do updates when those come out. So let's go ahead, put the key ignition, and we'll just turn it to the on position. Supra, done. That's it. Now, there's a couple things I'm going to go over with you guys here today. Now, a lot of this is going to be generic for the gauge, depending if you're manual or automatic. But the first things I want to go over with you is the automatic stuff, just so I don't forget. So if you see the screen right now, it's showing air fuel going crazy because it's warming it up right now. So the air fuel sensor is getting warmed up. But you see the screen, it shows it in park. You can see here, I'm in park. So, and there's a different select mode. So it says in select, and it's orange right now. So pay attention to the fact it's orange, and it's in that select mode. If I hit where the P is right now, I'm going to click the P. Now it's red. And the select mode went away. Why is that? So let's hit it again, click it again, turns it back to orange. So right now it shows me in park, and you guys will be able to hear the click. So let's go down to reverse, neutral, drive. Now you're seeing a 0. Like, why would you have a 0 there, Ryan? Well, the reason for that is 0 is just showing that, like, hey, you're not moving right now, you're just sitting in gear, right? So if I come down again, I'll put it in second, and then low. Now low will show low. Second gear doesn't show anything on the screen, and then back to drive is 0. Now what is cool is if you have what I have, so I have manual mode buttons, right? When you turn manual mode on, same thing, that button would work once you get it to utilize it. And I can use my buttons here up and down. When I hit manual mode, so when I click this, just listen. When I click that, now it puts it into 1, 2, 3, 4. So when I hit the buttons up and down, so down's on the front, back is, or up is on the back side of my steering wheel, you'll be able to hear the clicks when I hit up, up, and up. Now, if you guys see that delay, that is not a delay with the ECU. That is not a delay with the steering wheel. That is 100% a true delay for how long it takes the box to shift. So this is a stock A340, and to get to the next gear, we've watched it in the ECU from the time I command it. It's milliseconds, like it is instantaneous. But from the time I command it, from the time the box itself physically shifts and get fully into the next gear is 1.5 seconds. It's one of the downsides of this factory box. Now, I'm told once you go to a built A340, that really changes. So that'll be really nice. Now, what I'm going to do here next, guys, is I'm going to turn the manual mode off. Okay, so turn manual mode off. Puts it back to 0 or just drive. I'm going to put this the full way back in park. Now, this is designed to work for someone realistically, like you can use it in this mode. I personally like the other one. One, I like the red color better, and I like that it automatically just puts me first. Now, the downside of this is when you go and you're in park, see how it put me back to park? I'll show you guys when I switch to the other mode, it doesn't recognize it because it's recognizing the Prindle right now. This mode is recognizing fully the Prindle and not just what the transmission's doing. They're two separate things with the factory Supra, okay? So the Prindle and what the box are doing are actually separated. And talking about if we can try and integrate it maybe eventually, because I know it's stupid, but I like when I go to park and seeing it. It's dumb, but I would just like to. So let's hit the screen again. Now you see the red P. Now the select went away. Now you'll go down. You're like, well, Ryan, you said park will go away. I'll show you why. So we go down to reverse, neutral, and then drive. Now, you'll see it automatically went to first. Whether I'm in manual mode or not, it shows that. When I go start driving here, as I go through the gears automatically, go 1, 2, 3, 4, right? And then it'll show when it downshift too. Like when the car automatically slows down, the Haltech ECU says, hey, downshift, and it automatically goes to 3, then 2, then 1. And it'll show it on the screen. Now, let's put it down into low here. Now, you'll see a low. In second, nothing changes. It stays in first gear because this screen is just showing what the box is doing. So no matter if you're in low, second, whatever, if you're sitting still, the car is just in first gear, right? That's the first gear it's going to be going to. So that's all it shows. Now, if I put manual mode on again, it again will show it going up through the gears. So 1, 2, 3, and then 4, right? Works just the same, but a different color. Now, if I turn manual mode off, which I don't even have to do that, we'll just put it up into park. So if I do this, put it into park, it'll show neutral. Or actually, it shows second gear right now. Turn that off. Whoops. Making me a liar. Put it back down. Maybe it's because of manual mode. Let's put it up into park. There you go. Shows neutral. I guess it was because of manual mode. Shows neutral. Because it's just showing what the Prindle does, park isn't really building the transmission. The transmission doesn't know park because park really doesn't exist. That is a physical thing you're putting the parking pin in. It's a digital output from the Prindle. So since we're just seeing what the transmission physically sees, it can only see neutral. So it's like, okay, you're still in neutral. It's not going to hurt anything. Doesn't do anything. I'm just showing you guys this. Okay. So that's just the automatic screen. And that's just one of them. So here's another screen which shows fuel, oil, IT, so on and so forth. If you come down here, there's a little arrow. So if you click that arrow, it brings you to this screen. And this screen is a lot easier too. Before you have to keep clicking. This allows just 2 screens that have then 6 screens on it. So let's go to trans. So here's another one. Again, shows your gear style again down below. And if I come down, put it into drive. If I wanted to and I want to go up, you'll see it'll go through the gears for me, right? Oops, actually I need to put it in manual mode. It's just clicking down and putting me back down to first. So put in manual mode, go up, and you see one more. Okay, so now turn that off. Don't need that on. Put it back down. It puts me automatically back to first. Now I wanted to see this here. You have the transmission pressure and temp. I wanted this added because, you know, when the transmission gets hot and I want to see the line pressure change, I just had some issues. I wanted to be able to see this on the fly without a laptop. I thought this is really, really nice to have. So again, just another one of those screens. Now, if we hit back here, we can get to the BTI main. This is what I usually use, again, just like the other gauge. This is what I usually use in my manual car. Again, shows your ethanol percentage, target, IT, oil, fuel, and water temp. So if we come back here, though, and hit the cog gear. So this is where you can set up your shift light. So you click that and tell it which gear you're in. So it's 6,700 RPM right now. I have her shift light kick on. Doesn't really matter for an automatic. And you can tell it how many gears you have. Shift light by gear, and you can put this up or down. Again, I have her set at 6,700 right now. It tells you then once you're done, that's the shift light. Now, if I hit the cog gear again, we can turn on my warnings. Here's something I do have on, and you could customize this. So display ECU warnings, so the ECU has its own set of warnings, and also display user warnings. So you can set your own warnings. So right now, my H2O, my water temp, I have it set at 210. I'm actually going to change that to 215. I want to do that here. Let's delete that. So 215, enter. So now 215 degrees, it'll flash a warning on the screen. Hey, you're getting too hot. Okay. Air temp, let's change that one down. Let's see. When that gets above 150, look, I don't know. Let's just do that 150, 150. Oil temp, I don't even know what that needs to be. EGTs I don't have. Trans temp, I need to mess with that some. Boost, I don't need to worry about. Tire PSI. So if you have a Haltech, you can actually get it's set up, and it'll show on the screen here too, your tire pressure, which is a screen in itself. But again, I just wanted to show you the display warnings here. It's another thing you can set up. You can turn this on or off. I have them all on right now. You just click on this. So just click it on, click it off. Super simple. Come back to cog gear again. You can set your base fuel pressure, change from SAE to lambda if you wanted to. Your RPM scale, number of O2, so meaning number of, oh my god, air fuel gauges. Parameter scale, your track, so you can change the PWM steps for your traction control. It's up to you. Come back here again. A few other little things. Again, O2 is AFR. Again, if you click that, you make it lambda. Just clicking on it does that. Pressure units, PSI, KPA. Very, very simple setup. He's really approved upon this, which I do like. So click on that. Diagnostic page, which just shows a ton of stuff. So if you're just trying to see if there's something wrong, so your voltage, this pretty much shows you everything on one page, which I do like. Coming down here again, clicking on the cog gear. Whoops, let's get back. Clicking on the arrow. Again, you got the R34 screen, which is always really cool. Come over here. So you get the TPMS. So if you have a Haltech, you can set up the tire pressure monitoring system, and you can see which one is showing what pressure, and then the temperature in each tire. If you're road racing, drag racing even, it's a really cool feature. I really wish I would have done this now in the car just to have it. I unfortunately got a nail in the tire of the car here, and this would have been cool to see and see if it's actually losing any. What else do we got? Boost freeze frame. Sorry, look, can't talk here today. Can output, so you can change the can output for your boost and for your traction on one screen now, instead of having to go through two different screens. Analog output, so you can see what's your different outputs too. Can diagnostic, you can change this here, put the sniffer on, see what's actually showing data-wise. You can change the rate at what it works at. I don't mess with any of that stuff, I'll be honest. The biggest one I use is this gear screen. This is the one I keep it on the most. I like having the big gear there. It has mostly what I need: oil, fuel, water, and IAT. Now, this is nice. This trans screen's nice, but I don't like that the gear's small. I wish the gear is a little bit bigger. Maybe talk about changing that, because I do like seeing trans temp and trans pressure, but I like the other stuff too. So very basic, guys. Just want to give you that rundown. I'm going to shut up now, put this car back into gear, but that's pretty much the 4.3 screen. Hope you guys like it.